trapped on a deserted island for several years. The man suddenly found a woman on the island, came in excited. He was ready to climb out but accidentally fell down. The woman knocked out. The woman woke up, just wanted to run away. Marco rushed a hand to pull her and backhanded the other. Party dead on the ground. The woman saw that cannot break free, so she chose to give up struggling. Marco then escorted the woman home. Marco said he did not mean any harm and untied her. At first, the woman thought Marco was going to do something bad to her, but she soon realized that Marco was not only gentle, but also very respectful. Suddenly, the woman started to cry and Marco asked her why, but due to the difference in language, they couldn't communicate, so they had to use body language to communicate with each other. Then Marco, through simple gestures, to understand that the original woman is the natives of the nearby island, her father, in order to grow the tribe. Betrothed him to a chief of the old man. She vowed to die and finally escaped from the tribe to the island. In front of the statue of God, want to ask the statue to help themselves, but this action Marco cannot understand it. Native girl excited suddenly spoke out. Marco realized that the other side can speak English. This can be Marco excited very much, thought this finally can communicate normally. The indigenous girl was afraid that she would be taken back. Marco said that as long as he was there, no one could take her away. Hearing this, the indigenous girl realized that Marco was not only handsome but also kind-hearted, and she fell in love with him, and so the two lived happily ever after, with the indigenous girl taking care of their daily meals and Marco being responsible for their beauty at home. However, after a long period of time, even the strongest of the two, Marco, could not withstand the Aboriginal sister's torment, although she would catch some delicacies every day to replenish Marco's health. But Marco still intentionally or unintentionally avoided her. She thought Marco was tired of her, and she was a little distracted when she was working, but she couldn't say so she sulked. This day, Marco as usual put the drift bottle, but accidentally found a few boats on the deserted island, which scared Marco. Rushed back to find the indigenous sister and take her ready to leave. The indigenous girl was puzzled and took a look at the boat, and then she smiled. Then she ran towards the sea. Marco thought the girl was crazy. He took the pineapple and hid in the bushes. It turned out that the person who came was not the chief's old man, but the sisters of the indigenous sister. Hiding aside, Marco saw and immediately realized that something bad was happening. Sure enough, when the indigenous sister told her sisters that there was a handsome man, the next second they ran towards Marco's direction. Marco saw this scene and his scalp exploded. The women seemed to sense Marco's scent and followed Marco's lead. Even Pineapple was so scared that she climbed up a tree. Luckily, the women weren't interested in him and Pineapple escaped. The two sides of the conversation. Marco's side is miserable. He has been forced by the women on the mountain. Marco can see that he has no way back but to jump into the water. Soon the women followed him like dumplings, and the scene scared Marco so much that he couldn't even walk. When he turned his head to look at the other side, of a large group of girls chased. Marco had no choice but to jump into the water. Just a moment he was surrounded by women. When the indigenous girls also jumped into the water, Marco finally gave up struggling. Translated with Deep L. Calm, free version.